Gamerman, do you think one of the issues with the MCU is the lack of team-up or crossovers, as there's been a lot of setup of characters and a lack of crossovers between them? Yeah, I think it's all of that. I think a big part of the problem is that they're introducing characters and they're doing little cameos. Wong's showing up in lots of things. And they'll do a post-credit scene where someone will walk through a portal or something like that. But they have so many story threads and so many characters to where we'll see someone, they'll tease something, and we don't know when we'll ever see them again. So Shang-Chi comes out, one of the stronger performing Phase 4 movies, and one of the better received Phase 4 movies. People went, I like that character. And the mid-credit scene has him go off in a portal, like, what's going on with that? And it teases stuff with his sister and says, we'll see her again. That was 2 years ago. When are we going to see either one of them ever again? So there's so many of these things going on that you just feel like you don't spend enough time with anyone to develop them to be the new star of the MCU. We don't know who the Avengers are. Without saying too much, we know more about potentially other teams besides the Avengers than who our current Avengers are. After this weekend, I heard some people saying like, oh, Captain Marvel, now just make her the leader of the new Avengers. I don't want that. But more importantly, who are even the new Avengers to think that we would even know who would be the best fit to be the leader of that team of people? We don't know who they are. There's been no effort to set up the Avengers in its new form. That's concerning to me, that there's nothing like that. So all these characters, all these plot threads, and we don't know when we're going to follow up on the plot threads, follow up on all these teases. Like, we've introduced Harry Styles. When are we going to see him again? We have a Celestial popping out of an ocean. When are we going to see that again? There's 2 different teases at the end of the movie that just came out. When are we going to properly follow those up? We don't know. So part of the thing isn't like people are like, oh, you don't like the MCU, you just like the Avengers. We don't have an MCU problem, we have a lack of Avengers problem. You just care about the Avengers. Like, doing the Avengers pulls the universe together. Phase 1, we introduce a series of characters and then we pull them together. And then Phase 2, we go on some separate adventures, we introduce some Infinity Stones, some new adventures, and then we pull our Avengers together. And all along the way, people are making little cameos in each other's films, so there was never a span of time where we didn't think we were going to be seeing one of our characters for a while. Like, as soon as they introduced Tony Stark, the longest gap between seeing him again was between between Incredible Hulk and the Avengers. Between Incredible Hulk and Iron Man 2. Like, you just always saw him. And then you introduce all these other characters, and then they're in Avengers the next year. And then they have their own next movie, and they make little cameo in each other's films, and then we do Avengers. So we've seen all of them multiple times from Avengers 1, and then we see them in Avengers 2. And then we follow it up 1 year later with Civil War, where we see them together again, and we spend time with them, and then they get another follow-up movie, and then they do Infinity War and Endgame. So for a decade, we spent a lot of time with all of these characters, and we knew when we would see them next. We knew to get invested in them because we're going to spend more time with them. And that's the thing that they've done so wrong in the current phase. It's not specifically that team-up movies are the only way to do it, but it's that we would regularly see them, and we cared about their dynamic together. And it feels a little bit like what is a team with Shang-Chi and Captain Marvel? What's that dynamic? Like, I don't see them together on a team. Like, and we're far enough in that it feels weird that we don't have any idea who's on the Avengers or what that dynamic is. But as soon as you pull them together and we get it and we see it, we get excited for it and we want to see it again. And we care about the individual people. First Captain America, first Thor, nobody really, they were good and they did well enough, but people weren't that excited about them. And then they were in Avengers and people were more excited about them. Second Captain America movie made a lot more than the first one because everyone saw the Avengers and they went, oh, I want to see more of that guy. And a couple years later, he got his own movie. And the year before that, he made a little cameo in Thor. So every year we were seeing Chris Evans as Captain America. Even in the Spider-Man Homecoming, Captain America's in there. So we saw Chris Evans every single year for a decade as Captain America. When am I going to see Shang-Chi again? When am I going to see the Eternals again? When am I going to see Moon Knight again? After this weekend, when am I going to see Captain Marvel again? When am I going to... I don't know. So it's that. That's the thing that I think is hurting them so bad right now. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.